to go. I stand outside in the sunlight and I hear you call, and it sounds like home.
Aurelle Brunjes joins us now to talk about her new single, Magpie. Aurelle, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about what gave you the inspiration to write the song Magpie.
Well, I was stuck at home. I was a bit crook for a couple of days, and the doctor gave me some time off work. So I turned to my guitar, picked it up, and was sort of noodling around. And I think the magpie sort of descended in on the house yard and probably didn't even realise I was at home. And I just sort of thought it was such an amazing thing that there were so many of them. And I just started observing them while I was, looking through my window, or every time I sort of ducked outside for a bit. And yeah, I just sort of thought they're not as bad as they are a bit bad, I guess, but they're not all that bad is what I'm trying to say. So I guess they deserve their own little tune, so to speak.
Now, when you say that there was so many of them, we're talking half a dozen, 10 or 12? What are we talking about?
I have been on my property for about 10 years or more now, and I think I've got like a family that just keeps on breeding and breeding. I think I've got anywhere between 10 and 20 at any given time, and they sing. They're quite melodious. They sing to me all the time. I just absolutely love it. They're part of the Aussie landscape. I couldn't imagine life anywhere without them.
You weren't terrified. It wasn't like a scene from Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds, was it?
It kind of felt like that, but then I felt sort of comforted because the magpies that we have, from what I'm told, once they get to know you and they recognise your family, they don't tend to swoop you, and it stands true. I've been there 10 or more years and haven't had too many, barely any, really try and have a go at me. So, yeah, they must like me.
Tell us about your musical journey.
I've been singing and performing all my life, through school musicals and such, and probably too much in front of the bedroom mirror with a hairbrush. Just recently, in the last 10 years, I've been performing with bands and cover bands and doing the country music festivals with my original work. And writing is something that I've sort of gotten more involved in probably in the last 5 years. I've entered a few competitions through Tamworth with songwriters competitions, and I've co-written with a few people, Becky Nethery being one of them. She's from around my stomping ground out here in far north Queensland, and just decided to take it a bit more seriously in the last few years. I had a lot of people encourage me and say, you really should get your stuff out there and take it to the next level, and so I've kind of done that.
So plans are heading back to Tamworth next year?
Probably not in the immediate future. Tamworth is a hard festival for me to get to because I'm a school teacher, and so that week of Tamworth is our professional development week back at school.
That's the 1 week of the year where a school teacher does work. Of course, they have 38 weeks of annual leave.
That's my part-time day job that I do, and that funds my music, if that makes sense.
And do you pull out the guitar and sing a few tunes for the kids to keep them under control?
I'm actually a music teacher.
Oh, well, you definitely do. That must be a real thrill, combining what you're outside of work doing and also doing that. Have you spotted some young talent that you might be able to get into the band with you?
Loads. And saying that, my covers band were students that I taught at school, and I was working with them from when they were about 10 or 11 years old, and they're now in their 20s. Still as talented as ever, if not more, obviously, because they're older and much more polished. But yeah, it's amazing who and what is out there doing great things with music and performing. Yeah, definitely.
Well, we've got a lot of people that like to support people starting their way here. So Facebook, social media, what's the best way for people to keep on what Aurelle Brunjes is up to?
Definitely Instagram and Facebook. I have a music page on both of those socials. Also YouTube, and it's very timely because I'm releasing a film clip today of not just me singing into my mobile phone.
That's excellent. Well, we're going to play the song now, folks. Her name's Aurelle Brunjes, and this is her song. It's a tribute to all of those birds out there that attack us at this time of year. It's called Magpie.
You go do 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 do, and then you